Hello, I'm Phil Cleary, and it's great to be with you again. Let's continue our journey down football's memory lane to the year 1969, South Australia versus Victoria in Adelaide. Does anything fire the collective South Australian soul more than a game against the old enemy at home in front of a roaring crowd? Of course not. Yes, that Kernahan in the back pocket, Harry, is the father of the great Stephen Sticks Kernahan. And among the stars waiting for the Vicks were 5 players awarded All-Australian Blazers: Brian Colby, Rick Schoff, John Cahill, Peter Darley and Graham Malloy. But the South Australian boys were always going to have their hands full. Footballers didn't come more polished than Barry Davis or any better than former Tasmanian stars Royce Hart and Peter Hudson. And how do you stop Alex Jesaulenko up forward? Not to mention All-Australian Sam Newman. Let's find out.
The score at half-time, tied together, 6 goals, 5-41 Victoria, 6 goals, 5-41 South Australia. Umpire in charge is umpire Scott. The ground in perfect condition. It's a fine day in Adelaide as Big Nichols gets the tap. Out it goes, taken by Thorpe. Thorpe right into the open territory at centre half forward. It bounces badly. Chance for Dylan. Dylan's onto the field, replacing Hart in the second quarter, but taken away in defence by South Australia. Out wide towards the half-back flank position. Here's Paul, the Victorian winger, onto the left boot, swinging the ball right in towards the forward pocket. Hudson flying with Ellaway, and Hudson has marked the ball. Has kicked 2 for Victoria. He's running in, he's on a very acute angle. There's the shot at goal from Hudson, but it's through for 1 point only. Very little wind here today, favouring neither end. The ball is kicked across to the boundary line on the wing, where it's marked by McKellar, the young South Australian ruckman. McKellar up towards Marker on the half-forward flank, marked by Marker. He plays on, puts his boot into it for a long driving kick from Marker, but he's off target, and the ball goes through for 1 point. Thorpe from just forward on the centre wing position goes into the pocket looking for Hudson. Kernahan's there, and Hudson's taken a well-judged mark. Hudson would be about 40 yards out on about a 45-degree angle. Hudson and Ellaway have had a terrific duel all day. And there's the kick by Hudson right through the middle, and that makes Hudson's 3rd goal. Darley's still in ruck, in opposition to Nichols. It comes down to Bird. Bird is just simply run over by Waters. The hand pass comes out to Waters. Schoff is in defence, playing magnificent football, but it comes out onto the ground, and Hutt gets a heavy one there. But he plays on very quickly up towards Dillon, but in defence it's been marked by Kernahan. And here's the throw in once again. Coming in is McKellar, this time getting in front of everyone, but hits it straight to Bartlett. Bartlett's kick goes across towards the half-forward flank position for Victoria. Live from there, comes to the ground, chance for Pope again. Gets his kick in, moving it across it further upfield towards the between half-back and centre wing, picked up by Robert Day, the South Australian rover. His kick is in short. Mark almost taken by Darley. Darley's in trouble now, tries to get a hand pass to a teammate, finds McKellar. McKellar's kick going upfield just over centre towards the half-forward flank. Comes in, a beautiful running drop kick. Phyllis, well within scoring distance, and only a slight angle. He's a left footer. There's the kick from Phyllis. He looks all right. If he hadn't kicked it, he would have got nothing next to the Victorian fullback over the mark. But it's a goal to South Australia. Beginning of the 3rd quarter, Nichols in opposition to Darley. Kernahan comes in, gets a mighty punch, and comes down to the ground for Victoria to go forward again. Through Keddy up towards the half-forward line. Jesaulenko's there for Victoria. Couldn't pull it down. It comes to Bedford. Grabs and it's play on. And he's going to get a free for around the neck. Bedford a free for around the neck. Crowd in the over the 50,000 estimated at Adelaide Oval this afternoon, and Bedford have put a goal on the board for Victoria, and that makes Bedford's 1st goal. The pressure on, and a big crowd here at the Adelaide Oval, well over 50,000. The ground absolutely packed, and the atmosphere like a grand final. 8 goals, 6, 54 points Victoria. South Australia 7-7-49 with Murray to put the ball into play. And we've had about 13 minutes of play in the 3rd term. The kick in by Murray comes out towards Darley and also Newman, and Newman judged the flight of the ball magnificently and has pulled down a fine mark on the half-back right flank position. Newman down towards the wing position, and Schoffers coming in there for South Australia, knocks the ball clear. It comes down across to Keddy. Keddy loses possession. Hand pass from Darley across to Cahill. Cahill hasn't been able to kick with his natural left foot since
midway through the second quarter, and it comes out of bounds in the half-forward left flank position for South Australia. Victoria are 8-6-54 to South Australia 7-7-49, and we've had about 16 minutes of play in the third term.
Ruck's up there, knocked away by Newman of Victoria in the ruck. Chance for Bartlett. He comes into that pack, can't quite break clear with it now though. Chance for Darley to pick up. Darley's got it on the half-back line. A hand pass to Eustace. This will be his 19th kick, Eustace. Around up towards the half-forward flank position. Waters, Victoria's greatest kick-getter up to date with about 14. Knocks it across, is taken smartly though by Marker. Marker's got it on the half-forward flank, lines them up. He's a long way, and it's swinging in. It's bouncing in. And you can hardly hear yourself talk. Dillon, who replaced Hart fairly early in the second quarter, after Hart, who was doubtful before the game started, could hardly walk in the early part. Big Nichols setting himself and just about unopposed was able to bring down the mark. And he's on a very, very slight angle, almost directly in front and only 25 yards out. Victorian skipper lines them up. And he doesn't miss too often, John Nichols, and he's put this one through to put the lead back again in Victoria's hands.
Adcock trying to break through the through the crowd there. Bedford is unloaded. It comes out towards Colby, a heavy bump of players, and Colby is able to ride the bump much better and kick along the eastern wing position, and a good mark taken by Walker. He hand passes on immediately for Victoria to go forward, right up towards the centre half-forward area. Shot comes in and knocks the play clear. It comes down the wing, picked up by Nichols. Here's Nichols having a shot for goal, and it looks to be good from here.
Victoria now 12 points in front. Over the back, here's the chance for Darley. Tries the long hand passes in the open spaces. Could be danger for Victoria. Picked up by Chessel. Chessel hooks the ball around. It's going in, but just astray and through for 1 point. Murray taking his time for putting the ball into play. Getting plenty of distance with this one, almost reaching the centre of the ground. Knocked away in the pack that time by Kernahan. Comes out, gives a chance for Waters once again. He gets his kick right across towards the Victorian half-forward flank. Jezelenko just juggled it long enough. Jezelenko between centre and the half-forward flank, kicking it across to the half-forward line, looking for Dillon, and he's found that player. And Dillon is directly in front of goal, but would be about 45, 50 yards out. Dillon, a pretty handy replacement to come on and replace Hart. Kick from Dillon, covering plenty of distance. It's a magnificent kick from Dillon, and it looks all right from here. It's a beautiful goal from Dillon, the Victorian centre half forward, and Victoria further ahead.
The South Australians tried hard, but in the end there was no stopping Victoria. Another championship title for the Big V that brought their total to 14 from 17 carnivals played since 1908. I'm Phil Cleary. See you next time with more halftime footy flashbacks.